For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to the witnesses for being here. Ms. Burns-Coben, we are seeing an evolution in how fraud is being committed and concealed, particularly through the use of emerging technologies like decentralized exchanges and cryptocurrencies. These tools are not only being exploited by traditional scammers behind investment funds and pig butchering schemes, but increasingly by sophisticated transnational criminal organizations, including Mexican drug cartels that are adapting their tactics to evade the detection. In many cases, these groups are bleeding fraud proceeds with other illicit revenue streams and using crypto infrastructure to obscure the origin and flow of funds. Now, from your advantage, what trends are you seeing in how fraudsters, both individual and organized, are using these technologies to evade AML controls? And how is your organization working with the private sector and law enforcement to stay ahead of these evolving threats and ensuring we can continue to track down these criminals effectively?
Thank you for the question. And we're able to track these cartels purchasing fentanyl precursors from Chinese dealers who are primarily operating in cryptocurrency. We're seeing illicit actors adopt cryptocurrency for the same reason it's being used for legitimate purposes, because it's stable, it's liquid, it's fast. Any technology we can count on fraudsters to abuse. And luckily, we've been able to track some of these fentanyl dealers and Mexican cartels, but they're early stage in cryptocurrency, and they are not expert launderers, which provides excellent opportunity for intervention. I want to highlight the Eastern District of Wisconsin for forfeiting $5.5 million in cryptocurrency associated with cartels and Chinese fentanyl precursor dealers. So there's a number of cases where we see this over and over at the federal and state and local level, and we need to make sure that state and local investigators are equipped to be able to identify and track these payments.
Okay, thank you. One particular area of concern of mine is how government-related reporting requirements, such as FinCEN's beneficial ownership information rule, may be putting small businesses and their owners at risk. The rollout of BOI reporting under the Corporate Transparency Act has required millions of small businesses to navigate a complex new federal compliance system, often for the first time. Unfortunately, bad actors are using the requirements of the rule to exploit business owners through emails, fraudulent websites, and scam calls impersonating FinCEN. I applaud the Trump administration for scaling back its harmful requirement, recognizing the disproportionate burden and security risks that this rule has placed on small businesses, but there are still bad actors we must protect small businesses and entrepreneurs from. So, Mr. Brabant, how has FinCEN's BOI reporting requirements opened up small businesses to the threat of fraud and scams, and how can Congress better protect small business owners from BOI-related fraud?
Thank you, Congressman. The first one I discussed earlier is filing scams themselves. When you do a Google search, the first several results are not going to be from FinCEN. They're going to be from BOIR.org, who has what looks to be a government seal with an eagle in it. And some of these sites are charging $400 to file, and then small business owners have no idea if their information's actually being filed. And then, of course, there is the question of when you have a copy of your driver's license in a database, and there's tens of millions of driver's licenses in there, it's only a matter of time until that information is leaked or hacked, and that opens up significant identity theft risks.
Thank you. I've got limited time, but Mr. McLaughlin, could you elaborate on how the current filing burden of SARs and CTRs are affecting community banks, and how can Congress provide financial institutions some relief from these burdens while still giving law enforcement the information and tools that they need?
Thank you for your question. I think the burden needs to be shifted to a risk-based approach that's in an alignment between regulatory agencies, law enforcement, and the financial institutions. Check-the-box exercises are a drain on resources across the industry, and it's demoralizing to the institution, the folks that I represent, that we are not focusing on the threat, the real threat to our customers, but rather we are taking part in check-the-box exercises to get the machine of filing SARs or CTRs out within the regulatory expected SLAs.
Okay, thank you. I have Leah my time back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank the gentleman, and the gentleman from Illinois, who's the ranking member of the Financial Institutions Subcommittee, Mr. Foster, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr.